All right, guys, that's how this travels team down the road to Pisa and on Taylor Street at South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center. Did I get that right?
That's correct.
Dr. Stephen Lloyd, of course, Colon Cancer Awareness Month is happening here in March. And numbers, we've been talking about them a lot, but really bad numbers, but stuff you can beat. 150,000 people get diagnosed every year.
Exactly.
50,000 people don't make it.
That's right. 90% of those deaths would have been preventable if people just had the colonoscopy.
And that's a scary thing. Is why are you not doing it, you know?
It's fear. People, doctor coming at them with a 5-foot-long hose, it's daunting. There you go.
5-foot-long hose, you say.
There you go. I can't believe I ate the whole thing. But
good Lord.
Test for test, a colonoscopy is 50 times more likely to save a life than a mammogram.
Right.
Yet 75% of women get their mammograms. About half that number are getting colonoscopies. It's the fear. We've got to educate the public to say this is the most life-saving test in all of medical science.
Now,
you got to get the test.
Prostate cancer affects men, but women and men are affected by colon cancer. So it's different.
Equal number of deaths,
okay.
Men and women. It's an equal opportunity killer. African Americans die more frequently.
That's what Dr. Dunaway said the other day, that they have to get checked earlier. And why? Anybody know why that is?
They get breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer all younger. They get it younger and it's more aggressive. They die much more frequently. And so it's twice as important for them to be screened.
It's about getting checked. This, by the way, is your colon. Kind of give me a little runaround where this is.
Well, we start at the rectum, and we go up through the sigmoid, the descending colon. This is the transverse that goes across the top of your stomach. And then down here, this is where the appendix is.
Okay, so
this is a 5-foot
so you
trip.
put it here. So
that's exactly right. You go up the sigmoid, the descending, the transverse is across there.
Okay.
The ascending colon here goes all the way down to your appendix. That's the appendix right
So it just
there.
kind of takes a little trip up and around.
Yep, it goes on the, kind of the outside. And then your small intestines is 20 feet long. That's all inside here.
And this one's how long?
5 feet.
5 feet long and then 20 feet on that side. All that's inside you.
Yeah, we just check the large colon. That's where the polyps form. And that's the beauty about colon cancer. The reason it's preventable, colon cancer doesn't start as cancer. Like with breast cancer, you can have a normal mammogram one year. The next year you have breast cancer. Mammograms do not prevent breast cancer. With colon cancer doesn't start as cancer. It starts as a polyp.
Okay.
And from the time a polyp starts until it turns into cancer, it takes more than 10 years.
So if you're getting checked, then you're going to catch that
You
polyp.
do a colonoscopy, you take out, we destroy every polyp we see. I've taken out over 100,000 polyps in my career.
Good gosh, Dr. Stephen Lloyd. We're actually going to go into the exam room here in a few minutes and take a look at some of the tools. Yes, that 5-foot-long hose, and believe me, it's 5 feet. I've seen it.
He knows.
We'll talk about that
Personal
too.
experience.
True story. But just kind of take a look at the tools there. You can get done, get checked, and actually beat cancer this way. Dr. Stephen Lloyd. We're going to talk to Dr. Dunaway as well here from South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center. I got that right on Taylor Street.
Perfect.
All right, guys, stay
Thank
with us.
you so
Good day,
much.
Columbia's coming right back. Back to the show, the Taylor's Travels team on Taylor Street at South Carolina Medical Endoscopy. I think I said that right. Center right on Taylor Street. Dr. Stephen Lloyd, good morning.
Good morning.
So we're talking about colon cancer this morning. Of course, Colon Cancer Awareness Month. It kills 50,000 people a year. It doesn't have to. And so I guess we're going to talk a little bit about the exam, because the thought of a colonoscopy isn't necessarily one that, you think, well, let's say I got to pick up some groceries and some bread and some milk and bend at the waist. And that's just no fun at all for anybody. But the process isn't that bad. But I want to share with folks some of the tools you guys use.
We start with starting the IV needle so that we can give the medication. Anesthesia is important. One of the ways we can allay all fears is the fact that you're asleep during the test.
I like that.
As you can attest. And so these are the monitors to check your heart, your oxygen level, your blood pressure while we're doing the test to be sure everything is safe.
And that's basically, those are standard probably in every doctor's office in America.
Every surgery center, yes. Right. Okay.
All right.
And then the other equipment that we have are the processors that take the image off the end of the scope. We have a little camera on the end of the scope.
Right.
And when we put the lights on, it goes through these processors into the video screens where we can make tapes of the test.
Sure. So when the actual thing happens, and you're going to learn about this, because I took the test firsthand, so I can explain to you guys, but you're laying on your side, essentially.
That's right.
And this is what goes
inside your rectum.
All the way.
I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Oh, good morning to you, Impelian. So this thing actually is put in, and like you said, it's got the camera on the end. You can drive the bus.
But remember how flexible this is. So that's why it doesn't hurt. And why
and again, you're sleeping.
Right.
You're sleeping.
Now, not all colonoscopies are the same.
Okay.
Some doctors are much better doing colonoscopies than others. There's a variability of about 10-fold in terms of how many polyps doctors find. So you need to find a doctor that finds a lot of polyps. The way we measure that is called the adenoma detection rate, or the ADR.
Okay.
The doctor's ADR, the industry standard is 20. Everybody should find polyps in at least 20% of their patients.
Okay.
Ours here averages over 30, and so we have excellent numbers. But some doctors are below that threshold of 20, and you need to avoid them. So always ask what the doctor's ADR is.
ADR, I'll put that at watch.com for you as well. Is there like a resource that folks can go on, like I don't say not quite a Craigslist, but an Angie's List, I guess, for docs?
Well, you can go to the American College of Gastroenterology website, and they give you information about what you should ask your doctor. There's not a website where all doctors post their numbers.
Okay. All right. So you got this thing, you look in the video, and what's this little tool right here?
This is a little snare. When we find a polyp, polyps grow like mushrooms. And so we can put this across the stalk and then tighten it up, and then we hit a pedal with some electricity and pop the polyp off.
So this is up, this is actually inside the
this
camera.
This comes through there,
so
that's
right. In there.
So it comes
okay,
out there, we open up, grab the little polyp, and we'll show you that in a little bit later.
Okay. All right.
And we have another type of device that's similar. For smaller polyps, we have this device, which opens and closes. It's like a tweezer, and it allows us to open.
You can see that little itty-bitty little grasper right there, but it's right there.
And we grab the polyp, and again we apply electricity, and it allows us to destroy it. That's right.
Zap it off.
If we destroy all the polyps, then you can't get colon cancer. From the time a polyp starts till it turns into cancer, usually takes more than 10 years. So colonoscopy should prevent almost every case of colon cancer. 150,000 cases. The average cost of treatment is now up to $300,000.
Oh my God! If you develop full-blown cancer.
That's right.
Oh
so a $1,000 test to prevent a $300,000 illness that 50% of the time ends up in death is a great bargain. But people are afraid. Don't be afraid. Get the test.
There you go, guys. Actually, we're going to take a little test drive, a simulated test, before you get to see my actual test in just a little bit here this morning, talking about colon cancer and prevention of colon cancer during Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Guys, stay with us. Good days coming back. Back to the show, the Tyler's Travels team down the road at Taylor Street. And let me get this right for the first time this morning. South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center. How about that?
Ta-da!
Dr. Dunaway, Dr. Lloyd, talking about Colon Cancer Awareness Month, of course, is this month, and it is beatable with this little tool. Look at this, guys. This little thing is so neat. This little snake. I say it's neat when I'm holding it in my hand, but not so much where it goes where it goes.
You weren't aware of it, though.
This is true. I was asleep. All right, so we're going to simulate what is going to happen to me, or what happened to me in a little while. But
and
this
Tyler,
tool,
you're in television.
I am in
so
television.
I think this is a little TV camera on the end of the scope, so I think you can handle it. Why don't you just put that in your hand?
Okay.
You're going to hang this over your thumb.
Like this one? Okay.
Like that.
All right.
That controls up, down, right, left, and we're going to go ahead and insert it into this model.
Right down here.
And you can see what an endoscopist would see in a colon.
Oh my gosh. All right.
And you just steer and avoid hitting the walls. Now those are models of polyps. Polyps do not look like little white push pins, but that's just a model so you can see.
It's like a little video game.
It's exactly like a video game that saves lives.
All right.
And what's really neat about this is that we're going to let you handle a polyp.
Okay. So we got to switch.
So if we're moving in here,
all right.
We've got a snare that we've inserted through here, and we're gonna turn upside down.
All right.
And we're going to drop that on top.
So that lasso right there, you can see that, guys, right here.
That's right.
So you've got a polyp. So you go in there, you got a polyp, you spin it around.
You got to steer a little bit.
Oh, sorry. There it is. Okay. This is like a team effort when you go in and do this kind of stuff.
It is. Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right. I don't know if I'm helping or not. This is very tedious. Now remember, guys, this is itty bitty here. I'll let you go ahead and do that for a second, Doctor.
Let me help you with that.
Go ahead.
I'll let you drive.
All right.
You hang on to this part.
Okay, I'll hang on to this.
And then we're gonna get that snare right around that.
Look at that. You make it look so easy.
Well, it is.
And so what you do is you snare on that, and you can actually
pop it off
and pop it off.
We run a little electricity through that, and that cuts it off and safely coagulates, so you don't bleed from the polyp.
Now this polyp isn't necessarily cancerous.
No,
just because a polyp
pre-cancerous
doesn't mean
From the time the polyp starts till it turns into cancer, averages 10 years.
What's the difference? What would it say? I don't get one. I'm 60, and all of a sudden it turns out I had polyps. It becomes cancer. What does it look like when it actually
It begins to spread over the entire wall and begins to invade. It looks horrible. It looks like a nasty sore.
Even for someone that's never seen a colon cancer, you could look at that and you'd go, that's not right.
Something's wrong.
Something definitely is wrong here. But that's all there is to how a snare works.
Okay.
And in addition to snares, of course, we showed you the polypectomy or
forceps. Yeah, and I'll have to show you that in a couple of minutes as well. And the forceps does the same thing, goes up inside as well. Guys, we're going to come back. Yesterday, I actually had an exam done. I want to show you that it's maybe not pleasant, but it's not hard. It's not bad. So yesterday I came, these gentlemen actually performed the procedure on me. I'm going to share that with you in just a few minutes here on live television. I tell you, we're going to bear it all at Watch Fox here on Good Day Columbia.
Katie Kirk has nothing on you.
That's right, Katie. Take that. Guys, stay with us. We're coming back in just a little bit here from the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center. Did I say that right? Endoscopy.
Close enough.
Tomatoes to models.
Get the test.
That's how this travels, team. We are at South Carolina Medical Endoscopy. I'm going to get it this morning. Center on Taylor Street. This is Megan and Dr. Dunaway, Dr. Lloyd. We're talking about Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and some of the technology that have come along. In a minute, you're going to see some maybe older technology, what happened to me. But this is the new stuff. Why is this so important? Why is this such a cool breakthrough, Doc?
Tyler, the watchword in endoscopy is technology.
Okay.
What first started off with fiber optics that brought it to a camera. Now we have miniaturized cameras in the tip of the scope. That's old technology, what we used on you yesterday. Today, this is EndoChoice's Fuse. This is the latest and the greatest technology where it expands the field of vision from either 140 to 170 degrees to all the way to 330 degrees. And again, the idea is the more we can see, the more polyps we can remove, the more cancers we can prevent.
So instead of one camera here, you can see, you've got two on the side, so you can actually see the sidewalls as you're going by.
That's right. And here you can see how the forceps can grab.
Right. Oh, so if
manipulate.
you've got an item in there or something you want to get off, you've got the forceps, itty bitty. Guys, we're talking things itty bitty bitty in there like that. That is fantastic. It's all about technology moving forward.
That's what it is. And
So-
miniaturization.
He's got to be little itty bitty.
Itty bitty.
Guys, yesterday I want to show you that the exam, although maybe you don't want to think about it, not very pleasing to think about, it's not that bad. It's imperative you get it done if you want to make sure you don't develop colon cancer. So I went ahead and went under the, well, I guess not the knife, I guess I went under the exam. Check
Went under
this
the
out.
scope.
Went under the scope. Check this out, guys.
This is
Wow.
the first time he's going to have not much.
All right, guys. I will see you in...
On the other side.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think about that.
Good. Good. So I'm trying to spin, so stay with me. Just light. Good. The more you let me spin, the less leak will do. Good. Everything's going very well. We're in the sigmoid colon. Gently up with suction mainly. Put that to the top. So it's at 5. I'm going to slowly, if you let me, put 5 to the top. Stay at 10 so I can put 5 to the top. Good. There we go.
5 to the top.
There we go. That's good. Now up. Wonderful prep. Excellent.
Nice and clean.
I think one of the things that a lot of folks don't realize is that a colonoscopy is 50 times more likely to save a life than a mammogram. Because a mammogram is a test to find a breast cancer. It doesn't find precancer. Whereas with a colonoscopy, we find a growth called a polyp before it turns into cancer. From the time a polyp forms till it turns into cancer, usually takes more than 10 years.
Hitting down a little bit. And
Yeah.
to the left and down.
There's a lot more action. Get it limber. We'll fight. Key is action. Let me spin. I can't spin. You got to find the neutral. There we go.
And we have all these eyes looking at the picture. So it's not just one set of eyes, it's multiple eyes.
The more eyes, the more likely you're not going to miss something. Well, that's all, folks. Excellent.
You want to finish?
I promise I'll still respect you.
All right, guys, so just like that, very easy, somewhat painless. I may not be sitting on the couch tomorrow. We can talk about that. The problem is you get checked. The point is you got to get checked. Early detection is the key to survive it. 50,000 people a year die. There's no reason for it. They don't have to. You don't have to. 1 in 20 people are going to get it. We're going to find out later today if I have it. Get checked. 50 is a magic age. You can check before. Just be mindful. Come in. Clearly, it's like a little nap. Very easy. Good gracious. But just like that.
Guys, it's Tyler's Travels team. We're at South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center. I got it right. Finally, all day long. That took us a quick exam. And you and I, we now know each other extremely well, don't we?
So, up close and personal.
That's right. Just went through the exam to show you how easy the exam really is to get checked for colon cancer. It can save your life. It's so important to do, Dr. Lloyd. So we're going to find out together, how did I look? Now, I honestly don't know. This is it right here.
The quality of the exam is definitely proportional to the quality of your prep. Your prep was excellent. So we got a real good look at everything all the way to the end. This is the beginning.
Okay.
This is your appendix at the other end. This is where the ileocecal valve, where the small intestine comes in.
Okay.
The less pictures you have, the better for you, because we take a picture before and after everything bad.
Okay, good.
No more pictures. All normal pictures. No polyps.
Awesome.
A+.
Awesome, clean.
You're good for 10 years. Like I said, from the time a polyp starts till it turns into cancer, usually takes more than 10 years. So you're good for 10 years. Absolutely.
Now, again, the magic number is 50. Generally, African Americans a little younger, but is there a reason maybe for a guy who's maybe in his 30s or 40s to get checked?
If you have a family history, if you had a parent, a brother, sister that got colon cancer or colon polyps, then you want to start about 10 years younger than the age of the youngest person that got a polyp or cancer.
All right, guys, remember Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Colon cancer strikes 150,000 people. We've talked about it. You can't say the numbers enough. The biggest thing is you don't have to be one of the 50,000 people a year that die. You come see a guy like Dr. Lloyd and Dr. Donaway, and they can actually make the polyp go away and hopefully essentially save your life.
Exactly, but a lot of people want to wait until they have their first symptom. 85% of those people will die. You have to come based on birthdays, not based on symptoms. People always ask, what are the symptoms of colon cancer? I don't want to talk about that.
Right.
I want you to come in to get screened, get your test.
Real quick, too, with the new Affordable Care Act, that also impacts how much you have to pay, right?
Yes, the Affordable Care Act, one of the required benefits is that you have a colonoscopy without any out-of-pocket expense. It's free.
Free. It's free, guys.
And
That's
most insurance companies do that now. So a lot of people may have checked 2 or 3 years ago and found out it was going to be $1,000. Call, check, let us run your insurance and find out. Almost always it's very affordable.
Guys, it's not quite as pleasant as a nice lunch at Jason's Deli with the free ice cream, but it can save your life, and it's really not that bad as you saw it. It can be a little humorous, especially when you wake up half silly on the gas. It's good stuff.
Get the test and get it done by somebody with a high ADR. ADR above 20. Check that ADR.
We'll put links there as well for you. Dr. Lloyd, thank you very much. You and
Thank
your
you.
staff for having us this morning.
Congratulations to you.
Hey, man, 10 years. I'm good to go. Guys, stick around. There's a lot more Good Day Columbia on the way. Stay with us.